the bottom of the screen. Public comments will be accepted until the board reconvenes the meeting in open session at 5 p.m. At this time, I'm going to call the meeting to order at 3:31 p.m. I'm going to ask for a roll call to determine a quorum. Trustee Viejo?
Present.
Trustee Freeman? Me, here. Trustee Nellison?
Here.
And Trustee Stafford and Trustee Arau are both absent at this time. I have established a quorum. All items requiring a vote will be an oral vote for this meeting, followed up with an electronic vote. Invitation to address the Board of Trustees on closed session items only. Are there any public comments on closed session items?
None this evening, Mr. Freeman.
Thank you. At this time, we will have a motion to adjourn to closed session. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
It has been regularly moved and seconded to adjourn to closed session. We will take a vote electronically and verbally. We'll start with the verbally. Trustee Viejo?
Aye.
I say aye. Trustee Nellison?
Aye.
Trustee Stafford and Trustee Arau are absent. So the vote passes 3-0. Make sure that you vote electronically. Oop, there we go. The vote has been taken and is passed 3-0. The Board of Trustees we will now adjourn to closed session. The Board of Trustees will discuss items listed.
Thank you. Good afternoon. At this time, the regular board meeting of April 21, 21 is reconvening at 5:02 p.m. Please, let's stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Place your right hand over your heart. Let's begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which stands one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Please be seated. Now we have the invocation, item 6.1 by Trustee Vallejo.
Hello, all. I just wanted to remind everyone that with COVID cases, sometimes they're decreasing. We're going down in like a tier, and that's really great. I'm very happy people are getting vaccinated and people are using their masks, but I don't want to forget people that we have lost. I have recently lost a family member due to COVID, and there has been some of my other friends that have lost. And I just want everyone to remember that they're still in our thoughts. And we should always be careful. We should always be thinking about others. If we ever go outside for something else, should still be essentially. I mean, it's also okay, but just keep your distance. Don't lose sight of all these safety procedures because it is very important. So if we can just all take a quick moment of silence, that would be great. Thank you.
Thank you, Trustee Vallejo. At this time, we are going to recess the regular board meeting of the Perris Junior High School District to conduct the regular board meeting of the California Military Institute Charter School. We are recessing this meeting at 5:04 p.m. to conduct the board meeting of CMI. So at this time, we are going to go to ICO. We're going to join CMI, join the meeting. Okay. Are we ready, Señorita Pensa?
Looks like I'm just waiting on Dr. Freeman.
Okay, let me know, please.
Am I okay now?
We're all set.
Okay, excellent. Thank you. At this time, I want to call the California Military Institute regular board meeting to order at 5:06 p.m. Now I'm going to ask for a roll call to determine a quorum. Trustee Vallejo,
Present.
Trustee Freeman,
Present.
Trustee Nelson,
Here.
Trustee Stafford is absent today, and Trustee Arauz present. We have established a quorum. All items that require a vote will be an oral vote for this meeting, followed up with an electronic vote. The next item is in 3.1, revision and adoption ordering of the agenda for today, April 21. Do I have a motion to approve the agenda?
So moved.
Trustee Nelson,
Second.
Dr. Freeman. Now we are going to vote. Trustee Vallejo,
Aye.
Trustee Freeman,
Aye.
Trustee Nelson,
Aye.
and Trustee Arauz, aye. Please, let's proceed to vote electronically. Okay, upon a roll call vote being taken, the vote was 4-0. We continue with our meeting. Item 4.1 is CMITA President Mitchell Osborne.
I don't see Mr. Osborne here today, Dr. Rouse.
Thank you, Mr. Bennett. 4.2 Principals Update.
I don't. Oh, there's Igor. Go ahead, Nick.
Yeah, Igor is here.
Good evening, Dr. Aro, board members, Superintendent Bennett, and the cabinet. It's a pleasure to see you again this evening, and I will keep my remarks very brief in the interest of time. I'm very excited to report that we are serving our seniors and at-risk students at CMI daily, and with some really good and positive results. Students are being well taken care of, and we're very excited to see them back on our campus once again. And I want to just say thank you to all those who were involved, from the MNO to HR, Ed Services, and all the entire team to make this happen. Also wanted to finally say thank you, because it looks like our gym is basically done. The bleachers are in, the hoops are there. We're getting some last minute orders for furniture, but the facility is truly state of the art. And I'm just very, very grateful for the leadership, our superintendent, our board, Ms. Rains, who worked so hard on this, and the HR office and the MNO, and Mr. Skorpanich, who was motivating us to go door to door. It truly is very much an endeavor that we all can be proud of, and I'm very, very grateful for that. And so I will just leave it at that at this time, because we have a little bit of a bigger report with the principals later on, unless there are any other questions.
Do you have any questions from the principal of CMI? I'm not seeing any questions, sir. Thank you very much for your update.
You're very welcome.
Our next item is invitation to address the Board of Trustees on non-agendized items. Are there any public comments on non-agendized items?
No CMI public comments this evening, Dr. Rouse.
Thank you, sir. Next item is an action item 6.1 consent calendar. Do I have a motion to approve the items listed under the consent calendar?
So moved.
Second.
Dr. Freeman and Trustee Nelson. Thank you. Now we are going to proceed to vote. Trustee Vallejo,
Aye.
Trustee Freeman,
Aye.
Trustee Nelson,
Aye.
and Trustee Arauz, aye. Now, please, let's vote electronically. Excellent. Upon a roll call vote being taken, the vote was 4-0. Action item 7.1, personnel, certificated personnel action items. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Dr. Freeman,
Second.
Trustee Vallejo. Now we are going to vote. Trustee Vallejo,
Aye.
Trustee Freeman,
Aye.
Trustee Nelson,
Aye.
and Trustee Arauz, aye. Let's vote electronically, please. And upon a roll call vote being taken, the vote was 4-0. The next item is 7.2, personnel, classified personnel action items. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Trustee Nelson,
Second.
Second. Give it to the lady.
Trustee Vallejo. All right, so we are going to vote. Trustee Vallejo,
Aye.
Trustee Freeman,
Aye.
Trustee Nelson,
Aye.
and Trustee Arauz, aye. Let's vote electronically, please. Excellent. Upon a roll call vote being taken, the vote was 4-0. Other items by our superintendent, Mr. Bennett.
I would just like to piggyback on Dr. Milosavljevich's comments about the gym. It's great to see that. It looks beautiful on there with the locker rooms and an ASB room and a workout room. But really, when we walked around and I got to see the work they're remodeling the restrooms on that campus, and the school was built in the 1950s, it's the same tile. So now the kids are going to come back to school and have basically brand new restrooms on campus. So that's really exciting too for our students and our faculty. That's all I have.
Thank you, Mr. Bennett. Other items by the Board of Trustees. Trustee Vallejo?
Yeah, I just want to say thank you, Nicholas, for your for everything that you stated. I'm glad to hear that CMI is doing great, that the students and the staff are doing great. It really means a lot because I love to hear how great they're doing. I have yet to see the gym. I will see it soon. I still have to set up a date, but I'm sure it is going to look nice. That is all.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Trustee Vallejo. Trustee Freeman?
Thank you, Mr. President. I'll just echo what Trustee Viejo said. I too would like to be able to come and look at it, see how it is, so that I can stand out on the street and everybody says, "See my gym."
Thank you, sir. Trustee Nelson?
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Rouse. Yes, nothing really except the fact that we've been waiting for this gym for forever, and it's going to be great to see it finally completed and ready to be used for competition. So I can't wait for that time to come. So just really excited about it. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. I just want to add and echo the comments of the other trustees about the gym, right? That is an excellent addition in to provide the facilities for our students. But I think I personally more excited, and I want to say thank you to you, Igor, and to all the staff members at CMI for welcoming back our students.
Yes.
It has been a very exciting, something really a great feeling to be able to see the students on campus after more than a year, so that is thank you for giving to them that welcome back to our campus and for the excellent job that you are doing there.
Absolutely. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. Okay, the next item is an action item, 10.1 is adjournment. Do I have a motion to adjourn the regular meeting of the California Military Institute?
So moved.
Second.
Dr. Freeman and Mr. Nelson, Trustee Nelson. Now we are going to vote. Trustee Vallejo,
Aye.
Trustee Freeman,
Aye.
Trustee Nelson,
Aye.
and Trustee Arauz, aye. If we can vote electronically, please. Excellent, thank you. Upon a roll call vote being taken, the vote was 4-0, and this meeting is adjourned at 5:15 p.m. Thank you. So now we are going to leave the CMI and we are going to go to a regular board meeting. Item 8.1, right? Excellent, thank you, Señorita Fetzner. Okay, welcome back to the Perris Union High School District regular board meeting. And this meeting is reconvening at, okay, I close at 5:16, right? So we are going to wait for a few more seconds. Okay, welcome back. And the regular board meeting of the Perris Union High School District is reconvening at 5:17 p.m. Our next item is 8.1, revision, adoption, and auditing of the agenda for today, April 21, 2021. Do I have a motion to approve the agenda?
So moved.
Trustee Nelson,
Second.
Trustee Dr. Freeman. Now we are going to vote. Trustee Vallejo,
Aye.
Trustee Freeman,
Aye.
Trustee Nelson,
Aye.
and Trustee Araux, aye. So let's vote electronically, please. And upon a roll call being taken, the vote was 4-0. Next, we have oral reports. Item 9.1, report out of closed session. Mr. Bennett,
Nothing to report out of closed session, Dr. Rouse.
thank you, sir. A district update by our superintendent, Mr. Bennett.
Thank you, Dr. Rouse. A few quick things I have. Dr. Gomez, the Riverside County Superintendent of Schools, came and visited Perris High with me, walked the campus in all the new things we're doing, and he was so impressed with our ag facilities back there. And I was telling him how the other new things we're going to have there. He was very excited to see that and all the CT programs that we have going on at Perris High. You know, right in the heart now of all the sports are going full bore right now. So it's great to see the kids out there getting some exercise and enjoying camaraderie with their team. And it's a good thing with the coaches. That's been really great to see. We've been doing a lot of planning for our graduations and our senior activities, and there'll be a presentation later on this evening. So I'm not going to steal their thunder. I'm just going to say that we've had committees meeting and working on those. Also, we're excited about summer school. We're going to go with a full bore summer school. It's going to be a big project, and you'll hear about more of that this evening too with Mr. Bruff and his presentation time. So I won't steal any of his thunder either. I'm coming up on May 12th, Employee Recognition Night. We're going to hold it at Paloma Valley outside in the quad area there. So we can have social distancing and out in fresh air. So we're excited to see that. On Saturday, May 8th, we're having our annual Puma Golf Tournament to raise funds to give out scholarships. And we can't have any more golfers. We're already full. They only have 100 golf cart. They only have enough for 100 people to play there in golf carts. So we're full, which is exciting. So we'll be able to give out scholarships to kids, and it's always fun. We have 2 different nights for Best Awards, April 23rd and April 30th. That's from one night will be for students, and the other one will be for the adults that win awards. We did have a scholarship winner from CMI. It was one of our employees' daughter, which is really cool. Zoshi Trujillo's daughter that goes to CMI won one of the essay contests, so that was great. Last week we had the State of Education address by Dr. Gomez, hearing what's been going on in Riverside County last year, what its goals are moving forward. And we had one of our students highlighted in the program, Anthony Milan from Paloma Valley High School. So it was great to see him in there and getting that recognition that he's going to Stanford University out of leaving Paloma Valley. So he's already been accepted up there. So it's exciting. Another kind of great, another thing along the same line, Perris High School student ran Rosangela Lopez was accepted to Princeton University on a full ride scholarship. So it's great to see, those kids come out of Perris High can go anywhere, just like different schools have. Last Saturday, we had another meeting of our Aspiring Supervisors Academy. Mr. Skorpanich is leading that. We've done it in the past couple years. We've done it for certificated employees. This one's highlighting classified employees so they could look at promoting up to supervisor position. And our speaker last Saturday was Mr. Bruff. Did a great job with them, so we appreciate that. And that would conclude my report for this evening, Dr. Rouse, unless there's some questions.
Thank you, Mr. Bennett. Are there any questions for Mr. Bennett? I'm not seeing any questions, Mr. Bennett. Thank you, sir.
Very good. Thank you.
Okay, the next item, 9.3, CSEA President, Mr. Josh Russian. Is Mr. Russian here?
I saw him.
You guys see
I
me?
see him here. Yes, he's here.
I almost missed it. I was hoping I made it in time. Well, thank you for the opportunity yet again to speak to you guys. President, Dr. Arau, board members, Superintendent Bennett, Cabinet. I went through the agenda tonight and didn't see a single thing I had a question on. So that's a good thing. I did want to say, we did submit our proposal to the board. You guys are approving it tonight. We tried to come up with reasonable things to address. I would only ask that in the going forward, and I know the district's always been pretty good about understanding that we're all human, we all have needs, we all have wishes and wants, and hopefully we can come to an agreement that is fair for us and fair for you guys. And while still showing appreciation for all the essential work that has been completed for this year. With that said, thank you for this time, and we look forward to open negotiations this year.
Thank you, Mr. Rashin. Next item 9.4, PSEA President, Mr. Jason Miller.
Mr. Miller sent in a video, so we'll be queuing that up.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Sarah, could you release the screen so I could show it?
Where would we be without our counselors? Counselors play such a vital role in our educational ecosystem. Counselors do a lot more than just making sure students are in the correct classes every year. They help with graduation requirements, post-high school life, keep track of grades, outreach to students, and one very big area that counselors are tasked with, mental health and social emotional supports. Educators in general cannot ignore the social aspect of their job, but counselors have to really work hard in this area as a specific job function. One of the concerns that has been expressed to PSEA for counselors is the amount of social and mental problems that students could potentially bring in the fall of 21 from being in isolation for more than a year. The district has said they will be working to support counselors in this endeavor, and that is very encouraging. It is PSEA's hope that no group of employees or administrators feels overwhelmed when we return in the fall, and PSEA will work to support a return to normalcy. Whatever normal is remains to be seen, and it will probably be several years before we get back to normal. We might be starting back with a normal schedule in the fall, but the students and staff will be coming back to education almost like new teachers and new educators, getting acclimated to being in the classroom again. Counselors will have a substantial impact in helping the campuses as a whole get back to normal. Please think and support a counselor as much as possible. Thank you for this time to speak.
Thank you to Mr. Jason Miller for his message through the video. The next item 9.5, comments by the Board of Trustees. Trustee Vallejo, please.
Thank you, Mr. President. I just wanted to say I'm also very happy that there are many students playing sports. That's great to hear. I'm glad they're happy. I'm glad they're exercising. I'm also very excited about the future plans for Grad Night as well. I also want to thank students and parents for being patient with us and entrusting us for us to help students get what they want towards the end of the year. I'm very excited for what is to come for them. And I hope everyone is staying safe, listening to the safety guidelines. That's pretty much all I have.
Thank you, Trustee Vallejo. Trustee Dr. Freeman.
Thank you, Mr. President. Well, I am looking forward to, as Mr. Miller said, returning to normal, whatever that might be. I know that it has been very difficult for all of us. We have done everything we could with the idea that what is best for everybody. And, as people, sometimes we receive the wrong information, so sometimes we interpret it incorrectly, but we have always gone through with the best interests of everybody at the heart of whatever we do. So I say thank you for your support up till now, and let's figure out what this new normal is going to be.
Thank you, sir. Trustee Nelson.
Thank you, Dr. Rouse. I would also like to echo the sentiments of the previous board members and the fact that we've done what we can to make sure people stay safe, but also to make sure that everybody gets what they need in this time of the pandemic. Unfortunately, we don't always get what we want, but we are trying to make do with a crazy situation. So I have talked to a few seniors from some of our schools over the last month or so, and they're very excited to see that senior activities we are doing what we can to try to get senior activities back on campus and for grad nights and graduations and everything else, because they have been left out of so much on a year that's supposed to be joyous and triumphant for them. They have had very little, if any, to be joyous about. So I'm glad that we're going to be able to do some things for them. Unfortunately, it won't be everything that traditionally they used to have, but just to bring some kind of semblance of normalcy to their end of the school year is going to be a benefit for them, I think. So that's it for me for right now. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Nelson. And I ditto everything that my fellow trustee members mentioned, plus what Mr. Nelson added. I just want to add and say congratulations to all of our seniors. I know during this time you have been receiving your acceptance notifications, or letters or emails, right? Letting you know the universities that you have been accepted. Special congratulations to our two students who were accepted. One at Berkeley, you mentioned, Mr. Bennett?
No, not Berkeley, Stanford.
Stanford, I'm sorry.
Outside of the bay.
Stanford and Princeton.
Yes,
Full ride at Princeton. What is the name again of the student accepted at Stanford?
From Anthony Milan. He's a senior.
Anthony?
Yes.
Anthony in
Antonio Milan, Milane.
Okay, Antonio Milan, congratulations to him for his acceptance at Stanford. And the full ride at Princeton.
Rosangela Lopez.
Rosa Angela Lopez, congratulations. We are very proud of all of our seniors and both of you also for getting your acceptance at these universities. Congratulations to all of you. Okay. So we continue with our meeting, and the next item, 10.1, invitation to address the Board of Trustees on non-agendized items. Are there any public comments on?
We do have a few public comments this evening. Okay. And Mr. Williams is going to read those into the record for us.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Williams, let me just allow me a few seconds to read the statement, please. Individual speakers shall be allowed 3 minutes to address the board on each agenda or non-agenda item. The board shall limit the total time for public input on each item to 20 minutes. With board consent, the president may increase or decrease the time allowed for public presentation, depending on the topic and the number of persons wishing to be heard. The president may take a poll of speakers for or against a particular issue and may ask that the additional persons speak only if they have something new to add. Okay, so we are ready to listen to the public comments. Mr. Williams.
Thank you, Dr. Rao and School Board. Here are the comments on non-agendized items. From Shannon Goodbow, community member. I am once again addressing the Perris Union Board to express my frustration and disappointment with the limited options that the district has provided to families living within their boundaries. The hybrid schedule is not meeting the educational requirements. I, like many other parents, have requested for months for the district to move forward with some sense of urgency, and we have basically been ignored. The part-time schedule offered in the hybrid formula is not enough and does not meet the state requirements that districts offer students in-person instruction to the greatest extent possible. Surrounding districts in our area have moved to increasing and providing in-person options so all families have a choice in assessing various learning opportunities for their children. While I appreciate that seniors in the district have been provided an opportunity, this single option severely excludes thousands of other students from attending campuses and receiving in-person learning that they desperately need. The way the board, district, and unions have managed the last few months has not only been neglectful, but has shown a complete disregard to the academic and social emotional needs of the students. It is unfortunate that I am now in a place where I am engaging in conversations with parents regarding moving forward with legal action. It seems that parents and families of PUHSD will have to follow the path similar to those in San Diego and Anaheim, where the only way they feel heard is by seeking legal recourse. It is disgraceful that I have to utilize an attorney or the court system to ensure that my child has access to an appropriate education. The next comment is from Kelly, a community member. Coward. According to dictionary.com, a coward is a person who lacks courage in facing danger, difficulty, opposition, pain, etc., a timid or easily intimidated person. According to the Cambridge Dictionary, it is a person who is not brave and is too eager to avoid danger, difficulty, or pain. With the exception of Ms. Vallejo, who is new to the board, the members of the school board and cabinet have acted as cowards when making decisions regarding the opening of our schools. You gave into the fear that the unions have used to keep teachers out of the classroom. The decision to remain in distance learning was made during the height of the spike in cases of hospitalizations, during the scariest time of the pandemic. You were eager to avoid the difficult task of reopening the schools, the MOU negotiating, the planning, the preparation that goes into having students back on campuses, and the backlash that those didn't agree with you, and all the other difficulties you avoided with your decision to keep the schools closed. I watched the last school board meeting after numbers drastically fell and it was clear returning students and teachers to the classroom would be possible this year, with the hope that you would revisit the issue. Instead, you all took time to speak out against the parents who reached out in disappointment and anger for your decision, as I am sure you will do again tonight, using the excuse that the purple tier was out of control and it was not a decision you could make. Not one of you spoke up and said, "You were wrong. We made a decision too soon and we should revisit this now that the numbers are clearly different and headed towards being able to open." You each acknowledged the improving numbers when you shared your excitement at the prospect of bringing some seniors back. But now we are here at the end of April and our children are stuck at home trying their best and to be successful with a terrible learning model that was never intended to last a year. And you are all still hiding behind your computer screens, cowering to the fear that is no longer supported by science, hiding from poor decisions that you made, hopefully ashamed because you should be. Dr. Arau made several comments at the last meeting that he wanted to follow the science. Others made comments that they wanted to see students back, but it wasn't safe. Yet none of you have done a single thing to get all our students back in the classroom with your teachers now that it's safe and the science shows that it's best. Over the last several months, you have commented the worry you had for students' learning loss and struggles with distance learning, yet you have done nothing to fix it. You actually approved the plan that did as little as possible so that the district would qualify for extra funding. Funding was designated for schools that opened for students. It is disgusting that you would agree to a plan that brought a few students as possible back to campus without teachers just to earn a buck. The hybrid model offered to seniors is a slap in the face called Zoom in a room in a recent newspaper. You can come to school and sit in a classroom with a guest teacher to log in for distance learning instruction. The entire senior year was stolen from them, and you all thank the cabinet for their work in making it possible for seniors to not return to campus. Not a single of you spoke out and said it was enough, it wasn't enough, or that you wanted more. Your actions are a disgrace to the education and insult to the senior class of 2021. So here we are on April 21st. Thousands of schools in the states have opened for students that chose to come back, some 5 days a week, Corona Norca, for example. Many others are opening in this coming weeks, including Riverside Unified School District, which will open their high schools 5 days a week on May 3rd. What about Perris Union? There is no plan, no intention, no desire to show courage and to stand up for what's best for students to do what is right. So as a parent, I could no longer sit idle while you waste precious time. That time with my child should be on campus with teachers and friends learning in the best possible environment instead of the least, even if it's only for the last few weeks of the school year. There is a group of parents looking to take legal action if the district does not immediately make plans for both in-person learning to resume the school year and full-time traditional schedule to start the 2021-2022 school year. The next comment is from Geneva Fround. Perris Union High School District has damaged our kids enough. Please open our high schools. This is not fair to our youth. Everything else has been allowed to reopen except our own kids' school district has chosen selfishly to stay closed. That should be a crime. The saddest part is you are allowing the bare minimum to our seniors just so you can collect the money. If that doesn't show our kids you care less, I don't know what else does. There is a lawsuit starting, and I hope you truly understand the number of parents that are served. Open up all schools. That is the last of the non-agendized public comments.
Thank you, Mr. Williams. Our next item is an action item, consent calendar. Do I have a motion to approve the items listed under the consent calendar?
So moved.
Second.
Trustee Freeman and Trustee Nelson. We are going to proceed to vote. Trustee Vallejo,
Aye.
Trustee Freeman,
Aye.
Trustee Nelson,
Aye.
and Trustee Arauz, aye. Now we are going to proceed to vote electronically, please. Thank you. Upon a roll call vote being taken, the vote was 4-0. Our next item are the oral reports, 12.1, distance learning and cohort update.
Well, we're going to have Mr. Bruff take over here, Dr. Rouse, to lead us through the distance learning cohort update. Mr. Bruff, it's all you.
Thank you, Mr. Bennett. Go ahead, Mr. Bruff.
Good evening, President Raux and the board. Thank you for letting us present. I want to thank Mr. Al-Zubaidi, who's going to run the PowerPoint with me. It's a pleasure to give you an update. If we could go to the next slide, Mr. Al-Zubaidi. And the next. So we have made great gains as a county. You're all aware that we have entered the orange tier, and our adjusted rate has dropped to 3.6, and the current rate of positive tests is now at 2.0, which is great news. I was moved by Ms. Vallejo's invocation that it's great to have us at this place, but we need to continue to operate safely and to recognize the losses that we've had and to do everything we can to mitigate future loss. And that was the first I heard, Ms. Vallejo, that you've had a personal loss. My heart goes out to you and to all of our families who have suffered and lost a family member during this terrible time. If we could go to the next slide. Again, we see everything's moving downward. Tests are going up. It is wonderful to see that we currently only have 85 people hospitalized and 15 in ICU as a county. Again, keeping in mind that we do have now over 4,500 people that we've lost in our county. Unfortunately, we've had far more recover, but we are still in the depths of this. And even though we're in the orange, we need to keep the danger and the risks at the center of our decision making. If you could move to the next one, please, Mr. Al-Zubaidi. As far as areas of the community, I know that the board asked us sometimes back to take a deeper dive into different areas. Perris has had a 136 person increase, Menifee 225, and then you'll see the various areas surrounding Good Hope, Homeland, Mead Valley. I think it's particularly encouraging to see in Mead Valley, even though that number is higher than the others, they were having several new cases, and it's nice to see those numbers dropping in that area of our community. If we could go to the next slide, Mr. Al-Zubaidi. It's also encouraging to see that we're having an increase in those who are vaccinated. 33.5% have had at least one dose. And we know now that individuals 16 or over are eligible to receive the vaccination. So we look forward to our young people becoming vaccinated and wish them health and encourage them. I know Ms. Vallejo and several of you have encouraged everyone to get the vaccination, but we want to encourage them as much as possible. And our hope, and again, faith in the science, as Mr. President Raux has said, we need to have trust in that and encourage all those that can to get vaccinated and keep everyone safe. Okay, the next one, please. So let's talk about the cohort expansion. If you could go one more, Mr. Alzabady. So this is a little overview in history. I won't read this whole thing to you, but we know that phase 1 began February 9th, where we were allowed very specialized cohorts. Phase 2 began in March 9th, where we expanded those specialized cohorts. And I'm rushing a little here because there are subsequent slides that detail each of these phases. On March 23, we expanded again and brought back seniors who were at risk and needed interventions, who were at risk of not graduating. And then on March 1st, we had the governor's mandate that we could bring back at least one grade level. And so we made preparations for phase 4, which began this month on April 12th. If we could go to the next slide, Mr. Alzabady. Again, here's where we have a little more detail. That on February 9th, we invited our moderate and severe students to come back, our English language newcomers at Perris High School, and special education students at Heritage High School. So our initial early focus was on special ed students to try to bridge some of those gaps that they may encounter. Next slide, please. And then on March 9th, we added several more groups. We added at-risk seniors at the California Military Institute. We added a group at Pentecostal Middle School of at-risk students who had exhibited some concerns, and we were concerned about their mental health, their well-being, their academics, and we brought them back for an intervention and some extra support. And then we were very proud of our Pathways for Adult Learning. These are 18 to 22-year-old special education students. And we're going to end tonight by celebrating a couple of those students. We have we're very proud of 2 of them in particular. If we could go to the next slide, Mr. Alzabady. So phase 3, we really ramped things up. We brought back 3 cohorts at Heritage High School, 4 cohorts at Perris High School, 3 at Paloma, and 1 at Perris Lake High School. And these, again, were our most at-risk seniors who were in danger of not graduating by this June. And it also included invitations to our McKinney-Vento students. Those are families that may be struggling with homelessness or being dislocated for various reasons. We did special invitations to our foster youth, who we know always face challenges, our English learners, special education students, and then students who had some particular social emotional needs. And that brought us to phase 4, which began on April 12th. The next slide, Mr. Alzabady. Numerous mailers went out to invite seniors to return. Numerous personal phone calls were made. Our counselors, our administrators, our community liaisons, many people reached out in many ways. But we feel that our seniors, those who are now found their way in distance learning, many of them have settled in. And I think the board has discussed in previous days that given how close we are to the end of the year, that ultimately 193 seniors decided to return to us. We did poll those seniors and ask them about their experience. And I want to share some of the thoughts that they provided to us. And even though this is not a large number, we feel that those seniors who opted to return were those who were most at need and really needed this intervention and support. So if we could go to the next slide. One of the questions we asked them is, what did they think about the Learning Hub environment? And a student shared that, I think it's a very good place to be if you're constantly disturbed at home. It keeps you focused, and the staff is super helpful on everything you need or ask. It definitely has improved my learning 100%. So we were encouraged to see a student who, we know how challenging it is if you're at home and you don't have a quiet, nice place to study. This student found it to be particularly helpful to have this intervention and this opportunity to come into school. If we could go to the next question. We asked students, did it improve your grades or not? And many students said, yes, they did improve. Coming to Learning Hub allowed me to focus on my work and get late work in that I had to do. I want to reiterate that we train substitute teachers, guest teachers who are with these students, and had them sit side by side with students, help students email their teachers to ask what assignments they could make up. They focused on the highest leverage assignments first, and we're confident that many students are going to graduate now that wouldn't have had the opportunity to graduate had we not done this very meaningful intervention for them. If we could go to the next slide. We asked, do you think you had enough time to do your assignments in the cohort? How was the timing? And the student said, one student said, I do have enough time because it's quiet and helps me concentrate on what needs to be done. Again, we know many of our students don't have a quiet place at home, and this has afforded them an opportunity to get some extra support and have some, make up some meaningful assignments. And the last question, Mr. Alzabeidi, is what could we improve? And they said that it's a well-formed, one student said it's a well-formed environment and has been a good place for me and others to be focused on their work. So given the number that has returned, we're considering additional days, but we're very proud of the fact that we provided this intervention for our students. We know that the students, the seniors that did show up, are the students most in need at this time. And we're confident that we're going to see many of them in the graduation line this year. I know that many of the things students most love about school is socialization, interaction with their friends. And I know that we've been working very hard when we do talk to students. Their biggest concern is coming back for graduation and some of those senior activities. And I know there's a presentation later this evening to talk about how we're expanding those opportunities. And as many of the board members have mentioned tonight, we have all of the sports in place, and we know that kids and young people are back and getting that socialization and those meaningful experiences. But we wanted to end tonight by celebrating two particular students. And I'd like to invite, you know, at the district office, we are often the producers or the people behind the scenes. And the true heroes are our teachers and our counselors and our administrators who are with our students every day. And I'd like to invite Rachel Post, who's one of our amazing teachers at the PALS program, to talk about two PALS graduates. These are the very first seniors to graduate from the Pathways for Adult Life Skills in that program. Ms. Post, are you with us?
Yes, I am. Thank you.
We want to thank you on behalf of the board and Superintendent Bennett for all the effort you put into the success of these young people. And if you could just share with our board and our cabinet and our community their accomplishments, we'd love that.
Sure, absolutely. Thank you so much for having me be here tonight. This is a very emotional experience for all of us at the PALS program because these are, again, our first two students that did graduate with a high school diploma. They are graduates from Paloma High School, so both of them actually graduated at the same time at Paloma High School. They worked very hard through the Edmentum, the Plato assignments, and we, including my paraeducators, Mrs. Walker and Mrs. Vargas, have tutored these students. We've given them extra opportunities during breaks and things like that to assist them getting through their different assignments and courses. And we're so amazingly proud of these two young men and what potential they have getting this diploma and getting moving forward with the next part of their lives. So we're really excited for them.
Well, we know their success is tied to your dedication, the dedication of all of our teachers, Ms. Post. So we want to salute you as we honor them and thank you for all your work. You're changing lives, and these young men will be successful and off on a good life. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
That concludes tonight's this particular part of the presentation, and we're looking forward to presenting summer school in a few minutes, but that may jump the gun. I'll wait for our introduction there.
Thank you,
it's
Mr.
not your
Roth.
turn for that
Do
one.
we have any questions for Mr. Roth regarding his presentation? No questions? I have a couple of questions, Mr. Roth.
Yes, sir.
First of all, thank you for the presentation. Second of all, I want to join me and congratulate Jose Zavala Barbosa and Blake Boyer, our graduates from the PALS program. We're very proud of you guys. You mentioned that we have 193 seniors who have been attending the in-person model, but also we have 4 different cohorts, right? We have ELs, we have special ed, we have foster youth, and the seniors at risk. In total, how many students are benefiting from an average? I'm not expecting a specific number. How many students are benefiting from the in-person model?
I think it's around 200 students. It varies, and sometimes we have more or less. But I'm sorry, 100, not 193 seniors. It's around 25 total students, and it varies up and down.
193 seniors, and from the other cohorts.
Oh, the other cohorts.
Yes.
I should know the exact number. Forgive me. It varies. We have 18 at CMI. Give me one moment. I can pull up the numbers for you.
Okay.
Mr. Perris, you want me to help out from our last report we did?
Yes, thank you so much, Ms. Raines.
I happen to have it open because it's due again Friday. 551.
551 students. Excellent. So if we have about 10,000 students, we're talking about 5%, right? About
Yes, sir.
5% of our students. Yes. Well, first of all, thank you for providing that opportunity. And you're right. A few minutes ago, you mentioned that I had been talking about following what science has been telling us in terms of the development of this unprecedented challenge. And we promised our parents, and we talked about it during the last, not the last meeting, the prior meeting, in terms of, we told them that we were going to be evaluating the process every grading period. And it's kind of at this time, right? The last grading period, the second grading period of the second semester. However, we made a decision to continue distance learning until the end of the year in advance of that. So when I talk about that, and I said, we are not fulfilling our promise to our constituents, to the parents, that we were going to be making the decision every grading period, we talk about analyzing the numbers, and I'm really glad that right now we are in the orange tier, right? And expanding what we already had in order to provide the opportunities for the other students. What can you share with us in terms of that? Because that is something that we consider here, and we promised our constituents. We said, okay, we are not fulfilling, and I have a concern, our original promise of making the decision until the grading period. And I can understand there were some comments that it might not be a good idea, right, just for the last 6 weeks. And I said, okay, but what is going to be if the numbers go down? You know, that things can change. And that is exactly what happened. I'm really happy to see that, right? That those numbers went down, and from being purple in February, what is March, April, 2 months later, we are orange. So how our students are benefiting, and how are we following up on that promise of following science to provide more opportunities? You mentioned more days. Can you expand a little bit on that? What is the meaning for that? More days for our seniors only, or for our lower classes too?
No, right now that is a consideration if seniors are being successful in making assignments in the intervention model, asking them if they're willing to come an additional day. So that is one thing under consideration. The other thing to consider that this board and we've talked about many times is our calendar. We end much sooner than a lot of districts, and we don't have that many weeks left, particularly when you factor in the finals week that's coming up. So I think our big push now and you asked us to reconsider now that we're in the orange, is we are so excited about the proposal you're going to get in a few moments to really, really go full tilt on summer school. And we are going to be presenting to you in a few moments about a summer school like none we've ever had before, and provide as many opportunities as we can to as many students as we can. So I think that is our main focus now. We know it's been a challenging year, and we want to provide that summer extended opportunity to as many students as possible, and that we know that we can do it safely now that we're moving into the orange, or we've moved into the orange tier.
Excellent. Okay, thank you, Mr. Ruff. I appreciate your answer. Are there any other questions? I want to give the opportunity if the other trustees have any questions or comments. No? Okay. Thank you, sir. We are going to continue with item 2.2, graduation and year-end activities update.
Yeah, yes, we want to share some of the information as we move forward towards the end of the school year. And instead of us talking about it, we want to let our great principals get a chance to share what their ideas they're going to do on their campuses for the graduating seniors. So I'm going to turn it over to, I think Ms. Tomasian is the lead here. She's
That is correct, Mr. Bennett, and thank you for presenting, Ms. Rico. I don't know if Mrs. Post, if you're still on here, going backwards just a moment, I remember Jose and Blake when they were freshmen, which I think was 7 years ago, if I remember, but they were amazing young men then, and I'm so happy they're getting their diplomas. So thank you, Mrs. Post.
Absolutely. It's pretty cool that both of them are actually the graduates at the same time. So they're doing the same thing together. So it's really, really a great start for them. So we're very happy for them. Thank you.
Thank you. And I think that's a great segue. Like, we are here for graduation. We are here to produce young men and women to go forward into our community. If you want to go ahead to the next one, Sarah. I want to thank my colleagues for coming together on this one, for working across school lines, for putting the best of our best ideas together. And so Dr. Jennifer Tomasian, principal at Paloma Valley. We also have us with tonight, Dr. Igor Nicholas Milosavljevic. I knew I was going to stumble on that one.
Great job, Jennifer.
Dr. Milos, Mark Harrell, principal over at Heritage High, and Juan Santos, principal at Perris High. All right, so I think we're kicking it over. Mr. Harrell, you're up first.
Oh, thank you very much. Good evening, Dr. Rao, board members, superintendent, and cabinet. Thank you very much for giving us the opportunity to discuss how we communicated with our students, our family, and community members concerning graduation options. So each site used multiple opportunities to pursue our students. There was surveys within the class, surveys utilizing our student leadership on campuses, our ASB classes, link leadership, all those student leadership opportunities that we had. We also canvassed them and got their input because they were a very influential group in dealing with other students. We had focus groups. Not only did we have focus groups solely focusing on those seniors, we also met with our parents. And I tell you, there was some spirited conversation, all with good heart in mind. And we talked about the options that were available at that time. At that time, the options we presented, we considered was the drive-through graduation that our families were familiar with. We also discussed the multiple graduations on a given day, potentially 2 graduations on a given day, and the traditional graduation, one graduation on site for our students. And so, not to leave out our parent engagement groups, all of our sites spoke with our APACs, our ELACs, doing our coffee with the principal, our school site councils, and through our social media as well. So we did an encompassing job of reaching out to our community. And so what we found out was the overwhelming desire was to have the traditional graduation. And so with that, Dr. Tomasian is going to share what that would look like in the various tiers.
Yeah, Sarah, if you could go ahead to the next. And like Mr. Harrell said, and I know we experienced this at each of our sites, the seniors really wanted that moment of togetherness. They wanted to be with all of their peers that they have gone through together since the beginning and have that exact precise moment there. The hats in the air, the confetti, that's what they wanted. So go ahead to the next, Sarah. Taking that into account and really using the guidance from the Blueprint for the Safer Economy and the CDPH guidance regarding outdoor ceremonies and events, and specifically CDPH put out new guidance for graduation. And so when we look at that, we look at the capacity of each of our football stadiums, our largest spaces on campus. We come up with these capacity numbers and these ticket numbers. So in the event that we are in purple, which I don't believe will happen, I'm putting it into the universe that that's not going to happen. But in the event that we are in purple due to that 100-person capacity limit, we would have to have a drive-through graduation ceremony like we had last year. Each of our sites have talked about ways that, worst case scenario, if that does happen, we really take that moment and enhance it. We add things to it from what we did last year and still give our seniors an opportunity to be recognized, to be involved. I call it drive-through enhanced ceremony. But I'm putting it in the universe, it's not going to happen. If we are back in red, we would have a 20% capacity limit in our stadiums. And so what that would look like would be 2 tickets per graduate. So we would have our traditional ceremony, everyone in attendance from the graduating class, but 2 tickets per graduate. If we maintain in the orange level, which we are in right now, then we would be able to up that level to 3 tickets per graduate. And that's based on the 33% capacity limit from CDPH. If we get to a yellow tier, which we would need to drop by about 4 cases per 100,000 in the next 5 weeks, I think it's doable. Then we could have 5 tickets per graduate, which is I think great. I'm excited about that. Fingers crossed, Mr. Santos. All of these options, I can also say we are going to have a live streaming option. And so we recognize that there are going to be, no matter how many tickets we give, there are family members that can't attend this year. There are family members who have their own complications. There are family members who live out of state or out of the country, which aren't able to travel right now. And so we really feel that it's important to have a viable live streaming option for any of these ceremonies. So that way as many families as possible are able to experience it with their graduate. And with that, I kick it over to Dr. Milosavljevic, I got it that time, to talk about some of our safety precautions we're going to add.
Fantastic. Thank you, Dr. Tomasian. So, of course, we want to ensure all the safety precautions are considered. And so graduate staff and attendees will wear face coverings and maintain social distancing. In addition, they will be self-screening for symptoms prior to attending. Also, graduates and attendees will utilize different egress to and from the stadium. Graduates could utilize the entrance and exit paths than in the past, different than from what was in the past, based on each stadium in order to maintain social distance. And graduates would then line up in social distance fashion outdoors. Finally, dignitaries may be spread apart on the stage and surrounding area in order to accommodate social distancing. Hand sanitizing stations would be available throughout the stadium. And I also want to point out that in this particular graduation ceremony, graduates would be picking up their own diploma covers for pictures, and then they would carry them throughout the stage. So that is one important difference for this particular graduation. And with that, I'm really excited what Ms. Dawn is going to be able to share with us next.
Okay, so next up is talking about grad night, or rather, in this case this year, is going to be a grad day or a grad celebration, if you will, for our students. They will be attending Knott's Berry Farm for a day trip on June 1st for our comprehensive high schools, and Perris Lake High School, as well as the Scholar Online Academy, will be going on May 27th. They've already started selling tickets for that, and they're going gangbusters with ticket sales, which is awesome. And those agreements will be brought forward for ratification at the May 19th board meeting. And with that, I'm going to kick it off to Juan to talk about other events.
All right, so here we go. Our seniors are ready to party like it's socially distant 1999. We have had a meeting with the senior class today, and they were very excited about some of the events that are coming that we're going to be putting together. We have a senior awards night that are going to be planned at every high school site. Some of these events that are here are not going to be at every site, but most of them are. So we're going to have senior awards nights. We're going to have a senior sunset, yearbook distribution events, a drive-in spring carnival, team banquets, athletic senior nights, and spring honor roll awards. In discussing this with our seniors today, and actually yesterday we had a senior class meeting. They are ready to come out and celebrate and kind of start celebrating the end of their year. And so they're very eager to participate. Some of these, obviously all of these events are going to be promoted with social distancing guidelines. We're going to be having some of these events in our parking lots and some of them in our stadiums outdoors. And so we're very excited about being able to put some of these events together for our seniors because we've missed them and they've missed school. So we're almost there. And then the next slide has a listing of all of our graduations. Perris Lake, the adult school, and also Scholar Plus. The graduation is going to be at 6 p.m. on Tuesday, June 1st. Perris High School will graduate on Wednesday, June 2nd at 6 p.m. Paloma Valley on June 3rd, same time. California Military Institute on June 4th, and also Heritage High School will have the graduation on June 4th as well at 6 p.m. And with that, I'll give it back to Mr. Tomasian, Dr. Tomasian, excuse me.
Thank you, Mr. Santos. And I think the last slide is just members of the board, President Araux, if you have any questions that we can answer as a team for you regarding our plans for graduation and senior activities and all of the great things coming up here in the next month.
Thank you, Mr. Tomasian. Do we have any questions? No? Okay. No, we don't have any questions at this time. Thank you.
All right, we're excited to see you all at graduations.
Excellent. Absolutely. Okay, thank you to the four high school principals for this excellent presentation. And now our next item is 12.3, Summer School, Extended School Year, and Learning Loss Mitigation Update.
Okay, this goes back to Ms. Zerold and Mr. Ruff to lead us through this.
Well, thank you, President Raux and Superintendent Bennett. As you can see, we've had, if you combine these three presentations, you can see that we had to make decisions on an err on the side of caution. And as things are opening up, we've been able to expand our opportunities for kids. It's really wonderful to hear from our talented and dedicated and truly loving principals who have worked so hard to create these additional opportunities for our seniors. And as the numbers are dropping, we are confident that in summer, we can offer a summer school, honestly, like we've never offered it in the history of our district. And I'm going to turn it over to Ms. Zerold here, who's going to give you an overview of that. And I want to thank all the directors and all the administrators who have worked to create this expanded opportunity, because as Mr. President Raux said, we are constantly regrouping, rethinking, and looking to how we can expand our offerings. And this is a truly expanded offering that we're presenting tonight. Ms. Zerold, if you could proceed.
All right. Good evening, Dr. Rao and board members. I'm excited to talk to everybody a little bit about our summer school plan. If you'll give me 1 second, I somehow have lost my screen on my end. Are you guys able to see the screen?
No, Julie.
Okay.
It was there and it went away now.
Okay, let me try one more time.
Julie, this is Sarah. Do you want me to present for you?
I think, let me see if I get it, if it comes back up. And how about now?
Nope. Julie, yeah, there it goes.
There
Okay.
it goes. Got it.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. I'm excited to talk a little bit about summer school. And I think, as you've heard today, we're all excited to get kids back on campus. And that's our top priority, is to have students back on campus and to be able to support as many students as possible over the summer. And so you'll see that in the planning process, we've really kept in mind where we need to be depending on what tier we're in. And our top priority right now, happy to be in the orange tier right now, so that we are talking about face-to-face synchronous instruction, so students are able to be on campus and in classrooms. So our ultimate goal is in that face-to-face model. That would mean students would be on campus for 4 days a week, Monday through Thursday, and then Fridays would be asynchronous, where they would be participating in intervention support, tutoring, any additional support that they need on those summer school classes. If for some reason we move back into the red tier, we would shift to a hybrid model where we would have 50% of the students in person on Monday and Wednesday, 50% Tuesday and Thursday, while the others are participating in asynchronous instruction at home. And then Fridays, we would also have asynchronous instruction. And just for caution, we do have a plan if we do move to the purple tier, and that would mean that we would do a synchronous and asynchronous blend where students would be participating in synchronous face-to-face instruction, or synchronous instruction before lunch, and then after lunch they would participate in asynchronous instruction. Ultimately, our goal is to have students back in the classroom face-to-face with their teachers. Just to talk a little bit about our campus logistics, we will be following the guidelines with facial coverings as well as social distancing in the classroom. Our room capacity will follow the COVID safety plan guidelines. So each classroom doesn't necessarily have the same schematics, so we want to make sure that each classroom is designed to follow those guidelines. But do want to mention that if those guidelines change at any time before or during summer school, the district will shift to reflect the most up-to-date information. We will be providing transportation to all of our students that qualify for transportation. This is something that we're really excited about. We haven't had this opportunity to provide transportation to students usually during summer school, except for our special education students that receive curb-to-curb transportation. So this is exciting to be able to provide more students opportunity to ride transportation during summer school. A little bit about our summer school schedule. You'll see the schedule above where students will be participating from 8 o'clock until 12:30 in the afternoon. There is some breaks built in as well as a lunch break. Students will be taking one course at a time for 13 days each session. So each session, they'll have an opportunity to receive 5 credits per session. So ultimately, students that are attending summer school for that 8 to 12:30 block have an opportunity to receive 10 credits if they attend both sessions throughout summer school. All school sites will have summer school offerings, which we're really excited about as well. Oftentimes, we've only offered summer school at our comprehensive sites. But our goal is to provide as many students opportunities that want to come to summer school, provide them the opportunity to receive that instruction. We've also added an additional 3 days per session to provide extended learning opportunities for our students. This is really just to help address any of those challenges that they might be kind of a little bit behind based on some of the distance learning challenges. So just providing a little extra opportunity to support our students during summer school. So a total of 26 summer school days. When we're looking at staffing, we are offering sections of support for our students to all credential areas. So we're excited to be able to provide some of our teachers that haven't had the opportunity to teach summer school. Generally, we offer just summer school classes that are in the core content areas. We are asking all teachers in all credential areas to come and support opportunities for extended learning opportunities for our students. We are going to offer that in all of our grade levels. We're going to be supporting those classrooms with paraeducators. This year, we'll have an opportunity to have more paraeducators supporting our classrooms. Ultimately, we'd like to have a paraeducator to support each of our classrooms. We're also asking that we have one counselor per site daily to support the social emotional learning for our students. Any of those things that they've been experiencing, mental health related, any supports that they may need, we're going to have counselors on sites to help provide those services to our students. And then we'll also have related services. This really centers around any of the special ed students that have services that they have not had an opportunity to receive during distance learning. This is what Emil is going to talk a little bit about and the special ed services on the next slide.
Thank you, Julie. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Wonderful, thank you. So we're looking at ESY as being designated from 8 o'clock to 12:30, the same time as summer school. And we're doing something a little different as well. We're expanding that learning opportunity for our special education students in meeting the ELO time from 12:45 to 2:45. So this is above and beyond what we've done any time before. And we're going to utilize this for any kind of missed speech sessions, mental health, occupational therapy, and any other related services, including mental health services. So potentially our students will have the ability to make up 15 credits total from that period of time from 8 o'clock to 2:45. And we're also looking at the opportunity for those students that are going to only access the extended learning opportunity to actually earn up to that 10 credit marker. So we're also looking at students attending from that, again, 8 to 2:45 marker. And if students are already qualified for ESY in the morning, again, we're not going to double dip in that realm. So it's not going to count towards expanding that expanded learning opportunity time. So we're going to make sure that we're making every effort to provide as much services as we can and access during this period of time. Julie, back to you, my friend.
All right, I'm going to actually move to the next slide, and I'm going to have Dr. Garcia share a little bit about our MTSS for summer school.
Good evening. As mentioned, we're extending the number of days for summer school to incorporate a social emotional learning component in an effort to promote a sense of belonging and school connectedness between students, staff, and the school community. We would like to dedicate the first 15 minutes of the class session to start off with a social emotional learning activity. And we want to continue our work that we started this semester with the focus on the CASEL competencies, which include self-awareness, self-management, responsible decision-making, social awareness, and relationship skills. Some classroom approaches that our teachers can use include conducting student check-ins with restorative circles, now without physically moving students in chairs, the use of Thrively, a web-based SEL program used currently district-wide, use of counselor lessons that have been created collaboratively amongst our amazing district counselors. These lessons are located on the distance learning link on all of our websites. Counselors can also work within the classroom to present a short lesson and mindfulness or meditation practices. We also plan on providing student incentives to improve attendance, to increase student participation, and acknowledge course and assignment completion. Ultimately, our goal is to create a safe, welcoming environment that allows for all students to explore their social and emotional needs while supporting their academic learning. In closing, we want to create a meaningful experience for our students and hope to build a foundation of care and concern for the whole child. It's really given us an opportunity to be more intentional in how we reach our students and staff because their well-being is our priority. Thank you. With that, Julie, I'll go ahead and hand it over to you.
All right. With that, I would like to ask if the board has any questions about the summer school program and the extended learning opportunities.
Any questions? No? No? I have one question, and depending on the answer, I just want to confirm. These classes are going to be in person, right? That's what we are.
Get back in the realm of school and to overcome some of those social anxieties and get practice back in the everyday life of school. And we've never, ever offered a summer school like this. We've never offered transportation. Again, I want to reiterate that we're offering a summer school job to any teacher who's willing to teach this summer. We want to thank all those teachers who are volunteering for that this summer in advance. We're really looking at adding these SEL, social emotional opportunities. This is a bigger and better summer school than we've ever considered in the history of our district.
Thank you, Mr. Rolf. A follow-up question. What is going to be the max class size if we are going to be in person?
Again, Ms. Zero spoke to that. It will be whatever we can accommodate with the social distancing norms. We want to keep that 6 feet, again, being aware of the science and the safest possible. So there are some rooms that could accommodate more than 16, 18 students. There are other rooms that are smaller where we may have to go down to the smaller numbers, 12, 10 even. But we want to offer any teacher that wants to teach, and as much as that room can safely hold under the COVID environment.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
You're very welcome.
Any other question? Okay, we don't have any other questions. Thank you, Ms. Cyril and Mr. Broff and Dr. Garcia for this presentation.
You're very welcome. Thank you to our team.
Thank you.
Okay. We are going to continue with our meeting. Item 13.1 is the Williams Settlement Quarterly Uniform Compliance Report Summary for January 2021 through March 2021. Okay. And the next item is an action item 14.1, personnel, certificated personnel action items. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Trustee Nelson,
Second.
Trustee Dr. Freeman, thank you. And we are going to vote. Trustee Vallejo,
Aye.
Trustee Freeman,
Aye.
Trustee Nelson,
Aye.
and Trustee Arauz, aye. Please, let's vote electronically. And upon a roll call vote being taken, the vote was 4-0. Next item, 14.2, personnel, classified personnel action items. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Trustee Nelson,
Second.
Trustee Vallejo, second. And now we are going to vote. Trustee Vallejo,
Aye.
Trustee Freeman,
Aye.
Trustee Nelson,
Aye.
and Trustee Arauz, aye. Now let's proceed to vote electronically. And upon a roll call vote being taken, the vote was 4-0. 14.3 is also an action item, personnel resolution number 16, 2021. Proclamation of May 3rd to the 7th, 2021 is National Teacher Appreciation Week, and May 4, 2021 is National Day of the Teacher. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Thank you, Trustee Dr. Freeman and Trustee Nelson. We are going to proceed to vote. Trustee Vallejo,
Aye.
Trustee Freeman,
Aye.
Trustee Nelson,
Aye.
and Trustee Arauz, aye. Let's vote electronically, please. And upon a roll call vote being taken, the vote was 4-0. 14.4 is also a personnel action item, resolution number 18, 2021. Proclamation of May 12, 2021 is National School Nurse Day. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Trustee Nelson,
Second.
Trustee Dr. Freeman. Now we are going to vote. Trustee Vallejo,
Aye.
Trustee Freeman,
Aye.
Trustee Nelson,
Aye.
Trustee Arauz, aye. Let's vote electronically. And upon a roll call vote being taken, the vote was 4-0. 14.5, also an action personnel item, resolution number 17, 2021, proclamation of May 16 to the 22, 2021 is Classified School Employee Week. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Trustee Nelson,
Second.
Trustee Vallejo. Now we are going to vote. Trustee Vallejo,
Aye.
Trustee Freeman,
Aye.
Trustee Nelson,
Aye.
and Trustee Arauz, aye. We're going to vote electronically, and upon a roll call vote being taken, the vote was 4-0. 14.6 is a personnel action item. The Perris Secondary Educators Association is submitting its initial proposal to negotiate with the Perris Junior High School District for the 2021-2022 school year. Do I have a motion to open the public hearing to receive comments regarding the initial proposal to negotiate from the Perris Secondary Educators Association for the 2021-2022 school year?
So moved.
Trustee Nelson
Second.
and Trustee Vallejo. Thank you. the public hearing regarding the initial proposal to negotiate from the Perris Secondary Educators Association for the 21-22 school year is now open at 6:27 p.m. Are there any public comments, Mr. Bennett?
No public comments, Dr. Rouse.
Thank you, sir. So we haven't received any public comments from people who wish to address this subject, and there are no requests to address the Board of Trustees. Okay, so we are going to wait for a few more seconds to close the public hearing. Okay, the public hearing regarding the initial proposal to negotiate from the Perris Secondary Educators Association for the 21-22 school year is now closed at 6:28 p.m. So there is a, okay, let me see. Yes, because we have the motion to open the public hearing. Now we are going to have a motion to accept the Perris Secondary Educators Association initial proposal to negotiate. Do I have a motion to accept this proposal?
Trustee Arauz, it's
Yes.
the same motion, so it would be Trustee Nelson and then Trustee Vallejo.
Oh, okay. So we transfer the motion to open the public hearing to approving the proposal.
Yeah.
That's fine. Okay. So there is a motion by Trustee Nelson and second by Trustee Vallejo to accept the Perris Secondary Educators Association initial proposal to negotiate with the Perris Union High School District for the 21-22 school year. Now we are going to vote on that proposal. Trustee Vallejo.
Aye.
Trustee Freeman.
Aye.
Trustee Nelson.
Aye.
And Trustee Arauz, aye. Now let's vote electronically, please. And upon a roll call vote being taken, the vote was 4-0. The next item is also an action personnel item. The Perris Union High School District hereby submits its initial proposal to the Perris Secondary Educators Association for successor contract negotiations. Do I have a motion to open the public hearing to receive comments regarding the district's initial proposal to negotiate with the Perris Secondary Educators Association for the 21-22 school year?
So moved.
Trustee Nelson
Second.
and Trustee Vallejo. Therefore, the public hearing regarding the district's initial proposal to negotiate with the Perris Secondary Educators Association for the 21-22 school year is now open at 6:30 p.m. Are there any public comments, Mr. Bennett?
No public comments, Dr. Rouse.
No public comments. Excellent. Thank you. Okay. The public hearing regarding the district's initial proposal to negotiate with the Perris Secondary Educators Association for the 21-22 school year is now closed at 6:31 p.m. We continue, and there is a motion by Trustee Nelson and second by Trustee Vallejo to approve the district's proposal to negotiate with the Perris Secondary Educators Association for the 21-22 school year. We are going to vote orally. Trustee Vallejo.
Aye.
Trustee Freeman.
Aye.
Trustee Nelson.
Aye.
And Trustee Arauz, aye. Now let's proceed to vote electronically. Thank you. Upon a roll call vote being taken, the vote was 4-0. 14.8 is an action item, personnel also. The California School Employees Association in its Chapter Perris Valley 469 submits their initial proposal to negotiate with the Perris Union High School District for the 2021 and 21-22 school years. Do I have a motion to open the public hearing to receive comments regarding the initial proposal to negotiate from the California School Employees Association and its chapter Perris Valley 469 for the 2021 and 21-22 school years.
So moved.
Second.
Trustee Dr. Freeman and second by Trustee Miller. The public hearing regarding the initial proposal to negotiate from the California Schools Employee Association in its chapter Perris Valley 469 for the 2021 and 21-22 school year is now open at 6:33 p.m. Are there any public comments, Mr. Mayor?
No public comments, Dr. Rouse.
Okay, thank you, sir. We open the public hearing at 6:33, correct? Señorita Bethel?
That's cool.
6:32 is when you opened it.
Oh, we open at 6:32. Okay, thank you. So the public hearing regarding the initial proposal to negotiate from the California School Employees Association in its chapter Perris Valley 469 for the 2021 and 21-22 school year is now closed at 6:33 p.m. There is a motion by Trustee Dr. Freeman and second by Trustee Nelson to accept the California School Employees Association in its chapter Perris Valley 469 initial proposal to negotiate with the Perris Union High School District for the 2021 and 21-22 school years. Now we are going to vote based on this motion. Trustee Vallejo?
Aye.
Trustee Freeman?
Aye.
Trustee Nelson?
Aye.
And Trustee Arauz, aye. Now let's proceed to vote electronically. Thank you. Upon a roll call vote being taken, the vote was 4-0. The next item, 14.9, personnel action item. Approval of memorandum of understanding between the Perris Union High School District and the California School Employees Association in its chapter Perris Valley 469 regarding the in-person targeted specialized support and services, Cohort Expansion. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Trustee Dr. Freeman
Second.
and Trustee Nelson. Now we are going to vote. Trustee Vallejo?
Aye.
Trustee Freeman?
Aye.
Trustee Nelson?
Aye.
And Trustee Arauz, aye. Now let's vote electronically, please. Thank you. And upon a roll call vote being taken, the vote was 4-0. Our next action item is 14.10, curriculum. Ratification of professional services agreement with Only Thoughts of Ownership, LLC, to provide the Real Essentials program at Pinacati Middle School. No fiscal impact. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Trustee Nelson?
Second.
Trustee Vallejo? Now we are going to vote. Trustee Vallejo?
Aye.
Trustee Freeman?
Aye.
Trustee Nelson?
Aye.
And Trustee Arauz, aye. Please, let's vote electronically. Thank you. Upon a roll call vote being taken, the vote was 4-0. 14.11, Buildings and Grounds, ratification of award of RFP number 0321-2921 for Liberty High School classroom and ancillary furniture funded through various facilities funds in the amount of $2,164,450.97, not the general fund. Not the general fund. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Trustee Nelson?
Second.
Trustee Vallejo, are there any comments on this action item? No? Okay. Now we are going to vote. Trustee Vallejo?
Aye.
Trustee Freeman?
Aye.
Trustee Nelson?
Aye.
Trustee Arauz? Aye. And now let's vote electronically, please. And upon a roll call vote being taken, the vote was 4-0. 14.12, action item, building and grounds. Agreement with River City Testing for special inspections and testing services for the Heritage High School Aquatic Center project, funded through various facilities funds in the amount of $183,251, not the general fund. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Trustee Nelson?
Second. Give it to the lady.
Okay, Trustee Vallejo. Are there any questions or comments? No? Okay. So Trustee Vallejo,
Aye.
Trustee Freeman,
Aye.
Trustee Nelson,
Aye.
and Trustee Arauz, aye. Let's proceed to vote electronically, please. Thank you. And upon a roll call vote being taken, the vote was 4-0. Next item is also an action item, buildings and grounds, agreement with Atlas Technical Consultants, LLC for geotechnical materials, testing and special inspection services for the Paloma Valley High School Aquatic Center project, funded through various facilities funds in the amount of $274,315, not the general fund. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Have a second?
Second.
Trustee Nelson, first motion, Trustee Dr. Freeman, second, Trustee Nelson. And now are there any questions or comments?
I had one question. What all is included in this one that was not in the previous one that makes this more expensive?
Hector, do you wanna take that?
Yeah, so the Paloma Aquatic project also involves moving the portables that are in that location. There's 6 portables, including that the ROTC, the football portable. So those have to be moved, and they go on a grade foundation, meaning we have to dig out the soil and pour a foundation. So it's a little bit more earthwork involved with it, and so it's more involved.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you, Hector, and thank you, Trustee Nelson. Any other questions? Okay, so we are going to proceed to vote. Trustee Vallejo,
Aye.
Trustee Freeman,
Aye.
Trustee Nelson,
Aye.
and Trustee Arauz, aye. Let's proceed to vote electronically. Thank you. Upon a roll call vote being taken, the vote was 4-0. The next action item is also in buildings and grounds, 14.14, agreement with TYR Incorporated for Inspector of Record for the Heritage High School Aquatic Center project, funded through various facilities funds at an estimated cost of $169,738.40, not the general fund. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Trustee Nelson,
Second.
Trustee Dr. Freeman, are there any questions or comments? No? Okay. So we are going to proceed to vote. Trustee Vallejo,
Aye.
Trustee Freeman,
Aye.
Trustee Nelson,
Aye.
and Trustee Arauz, aye. Let's vote electronically, please. Thank you. Upon a roll call vote being taken, the vote was 4-0. The next action item 14.15 is also buildings and grounds, agreement with Anchor Image Incorporated for the new marquee at Liberty High School, funded through various facilities funds in the amount of $62,576.50, not the general fund. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Trustee Nelson,
Second.
Trustee Vallejo, second. Are there any comments or questions? Thank you. Let's vote. Trustee Vallejo,
Aye.
Trustee Freeman,
Aye.
Trustee Nelson,
Aye.
and Trustee Arauz, aye. We are going to vote electronically. Thank you. Upon a roll call vote being taken, the vote was 4-0. The next item, action item 14.16 is also building and grounds. Agreement with Ironwood Consulting and Inspections Incorporated for Inspector of Record Services for the Paloma Valley High School Aquatic Center project, funded through various facilities funds at an estimated cost of $106,400, not the general fund. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Trustee Dr. Freeman and Trustee Nelson. Are there any questions or comments? No? Okay. So we are going to vote. Trustee Vallejo,
Aye.
Trustee Freeman,
Aye.
Trustee Nelson,
Aye.
and Trustee Arauz, aye. Now let's proceed to vote electronically. Thank you. Upon a roll call vote being taken, the vote was 4-0. Next, we have information items. 15.1 curriculum, revised and visual performing arts course, piano, keyboard, meets the A3G requirements. 15.2 is related to curriculum, new career technical education courses, leadership development, and advanced leadership development. This course does not meet the A3G requirements. 15.3 curriculum, new career technical education courses, medical ethics, and pharmacology and dosage calculations. These courses, they do not meet the A3G requirements. 15.4 curriculum, new science courses, honors anatomy and physiology, and honors anatomy and physiology A, and honors anatomy and physiology B. They meet the A3G requirements. 15.5 business revolving cash report for the month of March 2021. 15.6 board policies, philosophy, goals, objectives, and comprehensive plans, series 000. 15.7 board policies related to community relations, series 1000. 15.8 board policies, board bylaws, series 9000. A closed session, if necessary, Mr. Bennett.
Not necessary this evening, Dr. Rouse.
Thank you, sir. 17.1 item doesn't apply because we didn't go to closed session. Next item, other items by our superintendent, Mr. Graham Bennett.
Just a couple things this evening, Dr. Rouse.
Yes, sir.
I wanted to say it earlier and I didn't put it on my notes. Is today's Administrative Assistant Day, and I have the two best around, Miss Fetzner and Miss Rico, that take care of me and keep me in line. So I just want to say thank you to them on Administrative Assistance Day. Also, we need to figure out who's going to be speaking at which graduation, which board member would like to speak at which graduation. Our first graduation is Perris Lake High School on Tuesday, June 1st. Does anybody have maybe you could just tell me which school you'd like to speak at. If you.
I would like to speak at Perris High.
Okay.
I'll take Paloma Valley.
So we have CMI on Friday morning or Heritage on Friday night.
I'll take whichever. I think that Mr. Stafford would probably like to have Heritage. And I don't know, Dr. Rao, do you want to take CMI or do you want me to? I don't care.
That's okay, Dr. Freeman. You can take CMI.
Okay, I'll do CMI.
So Dr. Rouse, you would like to do Perris Lake then on Wednesday?
What time is going to be Perris Lake, Mr. Bennett?
Perris Lake is on Tuesday, June 1st, at 6 p.m.
Tuesday, June 1st, 6 p.m. Yes. I will do Perris Lake.
Mr. Bennett, so just real quick, so do we have Mr. Stafford at Heritage then?
Yes, Mr. Stafford at Heritage.
Okay, thank you.
Very good. Thank you very much for that. One other question I wanted to ask is, does the board have a desire to move back towards in-person meetings, or should we continue with virtual meetings for the time being?
I want to go to in-person.
I'm fine either way.
Yeah, me too, the same. I don't mind.
Dr. Rouse, do you have an opinion on that?
No preference, Mr. Bennett. I can go either way too.
So you're okay for the May 5th meeting, then to be back in person live?
Okay.
Okay.
As long as we don't fall back into red or purple tier.
Right, as long as the numbers don't change. Very
I,
good.
I didn't mean to jinx that, but I'm just saying, just in case.
Yes, no, that's right.
Is there anything the board would like me to bring for the next meeting? Any requests?
Well, since we are at the end of the meeting, Mr. Bennett, I just have a question, and it didn't happen this time. So if you can bring it back for the next meeting. In the last meeting, I asked for a presentation on how we are going to be spending the federal money, the federal support that we talk about. It is not the CARES money anymore. It has different names. We have different kind of fundings. That is over, if I remember correctly, over $20 million. Is that correct, Ms. Rains? Yes. And I asked and mentioned that our stakeholders, they need to know how we are spending that money, the specific allocations, how we are using it for the benefit of our students.
Okay,
So I noticed that it didn't happen this time. Maybe you already have it ready for the next board meeting. And if not, I really would like to have the promise that is going to be in the next board meeting.
It'll be at the May 5th board meeting, Dr. Rouse.
It's going to be there. Okay.
Yeah.
And yeah, go ahead.
I was just going to interject. It's actually going to be in two parts at the May 5th and the May 19th board meeting because part of the new funding has to have a board approved plan. So we're going to do it in two parts and talk about what we've done so far. And then the next meeting, which will be presented by the Ed Services team and the AB 86 Extended Learning Opportunity Program plan that requires board approval.
Okay, excellent. Thank you. So we are looking forward for that presentation, and I know our community also is interested, and that is our commitment, right, to all of our stakeholders to be transparent, and this is an important amount of money who has been assigned to our district. So we would like to share with everybody how we are spending it for the benefit of our students.
And in the spirit of that, Dr. Araux, if I could say that all of those expanded opportunities for this summer are a result of these monies. We could have never offered transportation or a teacher an opportunity to every teacher or a counselor there for social emotional. So please forgive me because I should have highlighted that is a direct result of that money, but there will certainly be more to come each time we meet with you.
Yeah, no, and thank you for adding that, Mr. Broff. But I just want to make sure that the full amount is disclosed, right? That we know, because I'm sure that the $20 million is not going to just be for summer school. There are going to be some other things that we are going to be investing next year, like the interns and the professionals that are going to be providing social emotional support to our students. But we would like to see a desegregation of the specific allocations.
And it's really going to be like a 2 or 3 year plan, Dr. Rouse, that we're
Exactly. Yes. Yeah. I remember that some of those allocations, they ended in 2022, some of them, and other ones even in 2023.
Right.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. So that's what I would like to ask, and I'm glad that it's already on the agenda for the next two board meetings. Thanks, sir.
Sure.
Okay. That's it, Mr. Bennett. Any other
Yes,
item?
I'm all through.
Okay, very good, sir. Thank you. The next item, 19.1, other items by our Board of Trustees. Trustee Vallejo.
So I am very excited for grad night, summer school, end of the year activities. I'm really glad that we can do everything. Thank you for everyone that presented today. Very thorough. I liked how you all explained things well. I understood it, so it means that you guys are doing great. I also wanted to say I'm very excited to speak at Parasites. First time, never done it before. So if anyone wants to give me a few pointers, that will be great. And congratulations to the students and their successes. I'm very, very proud of them. Also for the teachers and staff that has helped these students through these hard times. And lastly, everyone just stay safe. That's
Thank you, Trustee Vallejo. Trustee Dr. Freeman.
Thank you, Mr. President. I again will reiterate what the previous trustees brought up, and I would like to say that I am excited about the expanded summer school idea. I mean, it's perfect for the circumstances, and I am just looking forward to having a great summer school, and that everybody will feel that we are a little bit closer to being really normal. Thank you.
Thank you, Trustee Dr. Freeman. Trustee Nelson.
Yeah, thank you. I would like to reiterate what my previous colleagues said. The summer school thing is going to be great because my daughter's one who wants to take advantage of that and get ahead on class so she won't have to take it next year. And I can't wait to see graduations with people in the stands and parents being able to enjoy the just that time watching their student go across the stage with their diploma. That's going to be great. So that's it for me.
Thank you, Trustee Nelson. And from me, I just want to veto the comments from all the other trustees. Thank you to all our staff members, teachers, guest teachers, and classified staff for welcoming our students back to our schools. And Mr. Roth, thank you for expanding the opportunity for the students now that the data shows that we can have more students here. Wonderful plan for summer school. We are really excited to see that. And lastly, I just want to ask the board members to join me in congratulating our wonderful administrative professionals on today's Administrative Professionals Day. I want to recognize the work of our, first of all, our administrative assistant here at the district, Ms. Senorita Fetzner, and all the administrative assistants in the district office, as well as the wonderful professional secretaries who keep the school's offices running smoothly every day. I want to recognize them for the work that they are doing, the school secretaries, the AP secretaries, our receptionists, our attendance offices, clerks, our registrars, our bookkeepers, our translators, clerks, and all of our office administrative support professionals. They are key members of our schools. These professionals keep our offices organized and efficient while providing extraordinary customer service to all of our students, our parents, our teachers, our community members, and all the staff in our district. So thank you, and congratulations on your day. And that's all that I wanted to add. Now, our next item is an action item to adjourn the regular meeting of the Board of Trustees for today, April 21st, 2021. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Trustee Dr. Freeman
Second.
and Trustee Vallejo. Now we are going to vote. Trustee Vallejo,
Aye.
Trustee Freeman,
Aye.
Trustee Nelson,
Aye.
and Trustee Arauz, aye. Let's proceed to vote electronically, please. And upon a roll call vote being taken, the vote was 4-0, and this meeting is adjourned at 6:57 p.m. Thank you and good night.